Anpa, Anta Arvana Wanka Yaninda, Niki Arvana Wadlu, Arvana Pidla Manga Muddy. Yaninda, Niki Arvana Wadlu, the dirt, the ground, Arvana, name for this place here, William Creek, Manga Muddy.
I'd just like to acknowledge the Arabana people, the traditional custodians of the land that we stand upon today, and acknowledge our ancestors that are past and present and our future people.
This clinic is truly innovative. You've got 26,000 people coming through this community every year. You'll be able at the back to go and use one of these telehealth emergency clinics, get into the door, immediately link into a doctor down at Port Augusta or Adelaide or somewhere else, have a whole lot of tests done and a whole lot of ability to manage the emergency if there is a health emergency in the short term before a plane gets here. This will be the first in the country. It's such a great delight. Come out and see something just so innovative. This is as good a clinic as you would get in the middle of Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane, and so it really should be.
This facility here behind us is absolutely state-of-the-art. Straight away, you have a teleconference with a doctor. They can work through the whole operation, and then you can get through the whatever illness you've got.
This is a cause for celebration today. The fact that we stood on this dirt about 13 months ago thinking that this was a bit of a dream, but here it is as a reality, and that's the passion of the people who are all out here today that has made that possible.
This will enhance the amazing care that we already receive through the Royal Flying Doctor Service, and I cannot stress how much the RFDS means to each and every one of us.
So this is a 24/7 virtual emergency centre, and as Mark Butler indicated, the first of its kind in the world, and without a shadow of a doubt, the best of its kind. In the event of an emergency, you can go to the clinic here, you can ring the doorbell and you'll be connected straight to the Port Augusta Communications Centre, and then the telehealth will kick in. If we need to fly someone in to help you out, we'll fly someone in.
State of the art, first of its type. It might look dry to everyone else, but this is our little oasis, and the RFDS William Creek Community Health Service is an absolute lifeline. They mean the world to us and make living out here that whole lot easier.
I started I didn't know what was happening to me. I was sleeping 15 hours a day. I'd lost my energy, I lost my enthusiasm, and I didn't know what it was. It was a scary time. I thought, was it old age? Was I getting cancer? Was I getting, I don't know what. I knew there was something wrong and I couldn't put my finger on it. I became a recluse. I dodged social interaction. I was in that nowhere area where I had no idea what was wrong with me. And the thing that scares me now that I never ever considered that I was suffering from depression. The fact that more people are talking about it, I really feel that we are heading in the right direction, lowering that barrier towards being more open about mental health at its different levels, and having people understand it's not a sign of weakness. I believe it's a sign of strength if you can say, look, I am struggling and I do need some help, and just start that conversation with someone and kickstart it all. Because no one's going to look down on you. They're going to say, well, good on you. I don't know how long I would have got on before. Well, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened from there on had I not had a chance meeting with a machinery salesman on our property. He had suffered from depression, and when he started to tell me about the things that occurred to him, the penny dropped. Went and saw the GP the next day, and from that day on the weight lifted off my shoulders because I knew what I had to deal with. I thought, right, this is what I'm dealing with. I'm going to do everything I can to get myself out of this because I can't live in this world the way I'd been. And that's how it evolved. And I had 6 weeks of counselling. Ended up after every session, a lot of tears. She had a box of tissues there for me. She brought all those things out that I had bottled up, that I had no idea was sitting in the back of my head here somewhere. And every time I walked out of there, I felt better every time. I look back where I was and I look now, and I am worlds apart. I got back on track very quickly. That's what amazed me. But it was that catalyst with that first conversation, and thank God it happened. When I was asked if I wanted to be involved with this We've Got Your Back program, it was pretty humbling. And the more it was explained to me, the more I realised that we could be another link in that chain of support that could help people get through difficult times. If you're struggling, we're there just to give an ear to you so that you can talk about your issues. We can hopefully give you more confidence to take it further or go with you if you require some support. But the process and the skills that we're learning is all about helping you. You know, we've been through some tough times and we know how great it is to be out the other side. We want to get that message across and we're here to help. We've got your back. We're behind you, supporting you, and if you want us, we'll be right there. This is not a money handout or it's not a hamper, it's just a conversation. Doesn't cost anything, just a bit of time.
I had decided that when I retired from work that I wanted to do some voluntary work. And back in 2013, I actually used the Flying Doctors myself. Was flown to Brisbane, I ended up having a stent put in. I actually had 99% blockage of the main artery. So I was a very lucky person. 12 months later, my husband, Jeff, also used the Flying Doctors. So I thought this was a way of paying them back. And I took on Treasurer from straight away. I look after the money and keep everything going.
I believe that Robin is a driver, somebody that makes things happen.
The Rockhampton Auxiliary have been working with us for about 25 years, raised about $100,000 every year for us, and they do that via their morning teas where they have about 200 patrons. They do pop-up craft shop, they sell raffle tickets.
Those morning teas, and they're such an important part of the Rockhampton community and the contribution to the Royal Flying Doctors Service. My grandma and her friends as well have been involved in the Rockhampton Auxiliary, so it's just really great to see Robin being recognised for the work that she does.
Linda joined the RFDS because of me. When she retired, she came to her first meeting and went home as president.
Always said you never know when you're going to need the Flying Doctors. And as it was last year, we did, and I'm very thankful for it. My husband went down last year on the service, and 6 days later he had a triple bypass. So without the Flying Doctors getting him there, we would have been, I've known Robin since we were both little children. She was there for me. She's a phone call away. When my husband was in Brisbane, I used to ring him every night. She's been a very great person, very loyal. I'm very proud of her. She deserves it for everything she's done and does.
Cessna planes of the Southern Tasmanian Aero Club are preparing to carry supplies and books to Melaleuca Inlet at Port David. On the trip is Dr. A.D. Ross of the Department of Health Services, the Secretary of the Tasmanian Section of the Royal Flying Doctor Service, Mr. L.L. Shea. The supplies are for Mr. and Mrs. C.D. King at Melaleuca Inlet. As the ground drops away and the small planes rise on the warm air currents from the earth, Hobart, bathed in sunlight, sweeps onto the wings. For the pilot, Nick Tanner, the flying conditions are sheer perfection. That's Huonville, heart of the apple country, with the long white highway running like a ribbon through the lush green patchwork quilt of the countryside. The scene changes dramatically, and the massive rocky ramparts of Federation Peak more than 4,000 feet high, point a finger into the hot, still air. As Mount Anne slides away, the breathtaking panorama of Lake Judd nestles like a jewel in the hands of the surrounding hills. Port Davey looms up below. It's not far from Hobart to the inlet in a straight line, but it's over land which time has forgotten. It's virtually unexplored, a lonely, barren region even shunned by the natives since time immemorial. As the planes circle to land, you have the feeling that the family is not so isolated because the Royal Flying Doctor Service is bringing them close to the city with its radio network. It's a big moment for the King family as the plane taxis down the airstrip, and it's time for news of the city and city friends. Then it's down to the business. The all-important cargo is unloaded, the textbooks and the medical kit. Dr. Ross explains the kit to the family. One day it could be the means of saving a life in this very remote region of Tasmania. Everyone lends a hand carrying the supplies to the King's home, which is a very snug hut. That windmill you see is not just an ornament, it recharges the vital batteries for the radio. And what an exciting day for the King's girls, Mary aged 11 and Janet 9. Now that the textbooks have arrived, they'll become students of the School of the Air in direct link with their teacher at Port Augusta in South Australia. A new aerial planned by their father will help reception. Mr. King is a tin miner and has one of the richest deposits in Australia. Here's a curiosity, a primitive dugout canoe, the relic of an earlier race surviving in the age of silver-winged planes. It's a colourful country in the far southwest, and for the King children of fairyland, and unusual pets for an unusual place. These are prize bantams, the favourite pets of Mary and Janet King. The visit is all too fleeting for both visitors and the family alike. There's an air of regret as the small planes take off on the homeward leg and the tiny airstrip fades below. The thermals curl lazily upward from the mountains in the heat haze, and the planes rise and fall on the mild turbulence. Through the eyes of an eagle, we see the grandeur of the southwest. The ranges interspersed with the cool, dark caverns of the tree-lined gullies. It's a barren tundra of scrub, rocks and small creeks, land which has never felt the plough. Yet it holds its fascination for latter-day explorers, the bushwalkers who try to traverse its length. Cruel country indeed for man and beast alike, country which holds its secret even from the most intrepid. There is Lake Paddock again, and we detour over its glistening silver body as we swing low over the pure white shore before touching down on the hard sand. And one by one, the planes land down on the beach with the afternoon sun touching their silver wings. Then it's off again on the mountainous air route to Hobart. The peaks go by, their crests softened by the slowly fading light of the sun. To the cameraman, the great sweep of distance is an awe-inspiring subject, but to the pilot, it's an area which offers little chance of safety in a forced landing. On and on, the miles fly by under the wings of the Cessnas, and the final mountain spine heralds another safe return from an unusual aerial argosy. The Royal Flying Doctor Service has set up its first official base in Tasmania.
I've never had an attack like this before. I couldn't inhale as much as I needed to after each cough. Without the RFDS, I would never have got to the level of medical care that I needed. My name's Adele. I'm an anthropologist. I work a lot in remote areas in Western Australia. Here in the Pilbara, we're predominantly working with traditional owners to record their stories and their values in relation to heritage places. I absolutely love my job. I'm reminded every time I get out of the city and get up here how lucky I am to have this experience and still be able to go home to my family and tell them about it afterwards. So. One day not that long ago, I was up here undertaking a fairly standard survey. It was a nice survey, it was a nice job, and I had symptoms that I've had previously with thunderstorm asthma. As soon as I laid down, I started coughing uncontrollably, and I got our field assistant to take me to Newman Hospital, and within what must have only been a couple of hours, they realised that they weren't going to be able to help me there, that I had to get out with the Royal Flying Doctor. Well, on board the Royal Flying Doctor plane, I was told it was going to be a 2.5-hour flight, and I wasn't sure whether I'd be able to keep breathing for another 2.5 hours. I remember Daniel, the doctor, saying to me, "Adele, I think the reason why you're not responding to treatment for your lungs is because it's not your lungs that are the problem. I think it might be your heart." What was happening basically was my heart was pumping blood into my lungs and it felt just like asthma. So he changed the treatment and it was just amazing. Within 10 minutes, I could tell that my rate of decline had slowed considerably and I wasn't heading on this downward trajectory. And perhaps the enormity of diagnosis didn't really hit me until when I was recovering from open heart surgery in Fiona Stanley Hospital. 3 days after surgery, I was wheeled in to have an ECG and he said, "Oh, about 30% of the people we see in here have what you had, but nobody usually has it as bad as you had and survives." I have a glorious 9-inch knife wound on my chest now that reminds me every morning when I wake up that it doesn't matter what the world throws at me, I'm lucky to be alive and to be grateful every day. And I've absolutely no doubt that the Royal Flying Doctor diagnosing that it was my heart and not my lungs that were at issue, absolutely critical to saving my life. It doesn't matter where you are in Western Australia, at some stage you might need the Royal Flying Doctor service. So please pledge your support and give generously to the Royal Flying Doctor service.
Alan Tinker is my name and my wife Lorraine. We live 5 kilometres out of the town of Heathcote in central Victoria. We're on 12 acres, which is all now set up as a native garden.
We'll be married this September, 59 years. So yes, it's been a joy, hasn't it, Alan?
Certainly has. Yeah, I was diagnosed with AML, which is a rather serious form of leukemia. They can't cure it, but to keep it at bay, I've got to have chemotherapy.
Well, when Alan first came out of the hospital after 2 months, he had to have chemo for 7 days every 4 weeks. And the stress of him coming out of hospital and being so sick, I think I did it for about 3 or 4 days and I was battling. Then someone mentioned the Royal Flying Doctor Transport Service and I rang them up. And they were able to do the last 2 days. And it was a godsend.
The last couple of years, I've been taking Alan into his appointments. And yeah, Alan, he's fantastic. And Lorraine, his wife, they're beautiful people.
Bendigo is 50k away, so it's a 100-kilometre round trip. It's not just down the road. It's just not feasible. It's physically, mentally and financially impossible. And if he doesn't have the Royal Flying Doctor Service, well, he's not here anymore. He dies. That's it.
No chemo, no life. Wonderful group of volunteers. The camaraderie you get from knowing locals. I've now known 3 or 4 drivers that have now become interested in the native plant group. So.
What Alan doesn't know about native plants is not worth knowing, so he's been very helpful in giving me advice on what plants to plant and how to look after them.
So I ended up getting quite involved in the scientific side of native plants in Western Australia. Worked with a lot of researchers, and I ended up being able to show these people a lot of plants had never been discovered. Got 3 plants named after me. We ended up with Sir David Attenborough coming to do the filming of the largest parasitic plant in the world.
So many people that are still living at home and still quite independent, and I've had numerous clients say to me that if it wasn't for this service, they would have to sell up and move into town or into a hostel or something, which is, they don't want to do that. It's vital, it really is. It's just so important.
Just to look out the window and see the birds is very calming. If your little patch is right, everything's right with the world. You can't fix the world up, it's too big, but if you can keep your own little patch going, and that's going well, what more can you ask? Alan's treatment is permanent. It's not going to stop. So we'll be using the Royal Flying Doctor Service for the next umpteen years.
They're still capable of living at home alone, and this service keeps them doing that. I'm very proud to be doing this. It's probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
Yeah, we're still here, and we're still here thanks to the Royal Flying Doctor.
That's a great gift. Great gift to give.